Okay. We'll take on today class 11th. There are two books in our syllabus. One is physical geography and one is India's physical geography. So this is chapter number 3 of India physical geography. So we're taking today a very important chapter, that is drainage system. Drainage, what does it mean? Drain means a river basically, right? So we have a very important and large drainage system in India. We mainly observed what you observe basically uh, whenever we come about we talk about any water flowing through, basically we come across with the water, right? And we'll take on नाला और रिवर में फ़र्क क्या होता है. नाला is contaminated water and river is a life giving source to us, right? In any channel, right? Water can be in rivers also, water can be in nala when it happened basically, especially in rainy season. Monsoon is very active, right? Class 9th you have must studied uh, chapter climate, right? In that you must have come across with this rainy season when it occurs. Basically it starts from end of May, it continue up to September, right? When we find access of water, because we are having 3 months of rainy season, especially in India, so every drain is full of it, right? uh, if these channels not been there, can you imagine that our regions can be flooded? It's not possible, right? Especially when flood occurs, when there is a rainy season, right? Whenever any channel, any river channel I'm talking about, is ill-defined, doesn't have any defined type of area or defined type of channel, right? Then what will happen when river is moving in any direction? What will happen? Definitely you come across with flooding. This is a common phenomenon in India also. What happens when excess of water is merged in any water body? Then what exactly happens there? Because river move in any direction, it doesn't have any well defined direction that time. Or sometimes what happen in India, basically हमारे इंडिया में बाढ़ क्यों आती है? Because we don't have a good sanitation system. Maximum path of any water body, it can be nala, it can be small drain. What happened there? It used to block, we have chalked. तभी तो हम लोगों को बोलते हैं कि don't use plastic. Plastics are the main source which block the channel, and that is the mainly cause for your floods. Okay. So in this we will see if you have to see what definition of drainage, if I have to give you a definition of drainage, right? So to whom you will call as a definition of drainage. When flow of water is there, पानी का होना बहुत ज़रूरी है, but it should be well defined channel, then you will term it as a drainage. And such network of channels basically is called a drainage system. So if you see rivers have so many tributaries, this tributary, they have proper channels, but they have a well defined channel. हमें पता होता है कि रास्ता नदी का रूट कौन सा है, राइट? सो इस सारे सिस्टम को हम ड्रेनेज सिस्टम कहते हैं. और जो ड्रेनेज पैटर्न होता है किसी एरिया का, बेसिकली हाउ इट हैज़ बीन फाइनलाइज ड्यू टू सम जियोलॉजिकल टाइम पीरियड. ज्योग्राफी में जब भी हम बात करेंगे, वी विल टॉक अबाउट जियोलॉजिकल टाइम पीरियड, राइट? वी हैव कैम्ब्रियन फेज, we have Jurassic phase, right? We have ice phase. So we have so many geological time, right? It depends, your drainage depends on geological time period, कितने साल पुरानी है. जैसे every river having its own age, but whenever I'm talking in geography, we are talking very old, and like Himalayas are young fold mountains. If I give this example, तो ऐसा इसका मतलब नहीं है कि हिमालयाज आज ही बने हैं, इसको हजारों साल पहले बने हैं, राइट? बट स्टिल इट इज ग्रोइंग, वी यूज यंग फोल्ड माउंटेन्स फॉर दैट. So basically drainage is mainly depend on area, and that area must be developed in some geological time period. And definitely that area, which type of nature of rock is in that area, आपका रॉक्स का स्ट्रक्चर कैसा है। वहाँ पे अगर हार्ड रॉक्स हैं, जैसे इग्नियस रॉक्स हैं, सेडिमेंटेड रॉक्स है, तो आपका ड्रेनेज का जो स्टाइल होगा, जो पैटर्न होगा, वो डिफरेंट होगा। इग्नियस रॉक्स में जो ड्रेनेज रिवर्स फ्लो करती हैं, वहाँ का पैटर्न डिफरेंट होगा. अगर इफ यू टेक अबाउट sedimentary rocks, because it's a very soft type of rocks, that's the reason you find different type of things. Then topography of that area, physical features in that area, वो एरिया पहाड़ों से घिरा हुआ है, वो प्लेन एरिया है, वो फॉरेस्ट से कवर्ड है, वॉट एवर थिंग, दैट्स कॉल्ड बेसिकली टोपोग्राफी. And then we have slope. Drainage has some slope or not, and then what type of amount of water is flowing in that, right? So this all makes a sense okay, which type of pattern of river would be there. This all are the factors which make a shape of a river basically. I told you geological time period, I told you nature and structure of rock, then I told you topography, then I told you slope, then amount of water flowing, and then we have very important thing, that is periodicity of the flow. कितने टाइम में नदी में पानी रहता है, right? You have seen, must have seen, some river is full of water throughout the year, but some rivers doesn't have, right? If you compare with North Indian rivers and South Indian rivers, that definitely I'm going to tell you afterwards in this chapter itself. Right, we have two types of river system in India basically. One we call it North Indian rivers, and we call peninsular Indian rivers. If you see North Indian rivers, they are always with the water, right? Because they are fed by glaciers. That's the reason why they have water throughout the year. But if you see peninsular rivers, जब मैं peninsular rivers की बात कर रहा हूँ, तो I'm talking about South Indian river, right? So now the question asked in your book, that is, do you have a river near your village? You may be lucky if you have river in your village or your neighboring area, neighboring city, right? So the lifestyle of you will be totally different, right? Don't you think? Then we have when there is a river, then there is a chances of boating also. Then water solves so many purposes. If you I call importance of water, it is used for cooking, washing, drinking. Industries also use it, in agriculture also. So a lot of things can be carried out on river itself, and that's the reason why maximum our olden civilizations, if you take about ancient civilizations, that has been brought up near river valleys. Can you name it? One is, if you see, there are four civilization, ancient civilization, which I'm talking about. One is Indus. Hmm? We should be proud that we are Indian, and therefore this civilization brought up in India itself, right? Then we have Mesopotamian civilization, Mesopotamia, right? Basically, it's a part of Iran and Iraq. Then we come across with the third type of civilization, that is called Chinese civilization. नाम से ही पता लग रहा है कि it has been brought up in China. Then we have fourth civilization, that is called Egyptian civilization, right? Because it has brought up in Egypt, therefore we call it as Egyptian civilization, right? So we come across with maximum civilization that is brought up near rivers, like Indus has been brought. The name itself is reflecting that it is near Indus River, right? Secondly, if you take Mesopotamia, Mesopotamia is a ancient name of Iraq, right? And there is a very famous river that is Tigris. Then with Chinese, then we have this Chinese civilization has been brought up near Hong Ho, and Egyptian civilization has been flooded near River Nile, right? The question, same question, will they going to repeat it, right? Maximum river, you see whether it is a perennial. There are two types of river basically. One is called perennial river and one is called non-perennial. When I am using the word perennial, there is always the water. पानी इस नदी में सारा साल रहना, that is called perennial river. If you find water throughout in that, it's called perennial, right? It is also another type of river. You find water in few seasons only. Basically, that type of river where you find water in few months only, not all the year you find water is there. These are called epithermal, right? Basically, you find water in, especially in rainy season, right? Otherwise, it's almost dry. Then now I told you about water. You find that any river flow in all river flows in the same direction. It's not possible, right? But basically, rivers have its own direction, right? You have studied in other textbooks of geography also. In this class, I am going to teach you that why this they have direction, right? So we have so many reasons which we have give you that why water flow from one direction to another. What is the reason why water flow from one direction to another? पानी की जो डायरेक्शन है एक डायरेक्शन से पानी दूसरी डायरेक्शन में कैसे पहुंच जाता है एंड इन दिस आई विल टेल यू why do you think maximum rivers originate from हम लोगों को पता होना चाहिए कि मैक्सिमम रिवर जो है हमारे वो originate हिमालय से करते हैं especially if you talk about northern Indian rivers maximum they are from Himalayas, right? And Western Ghats, basically maximum river falls in Western Ghats in South India, right? And basically they move in east direction and maximum rivers falls in Bay of Bengal. Why is it so? That will take on, right? In this chapter we explain all these aspects, right? Mm. Then there is a very important definition when you are talking about a river draining. Every river drains itself, right? A river drains whatever the water they have, right? In specific area. हर नदी अपने आप को ड्रेन करती है कुछ स्पेसिफिक एरिया में जिसको हम कैचमेंट एरिया कहते हैं हर नदी अपने किसी न किसी चीज़ में गिरती है जाकर तो वी हैव दैट एरिया इज कॉल्ड बेसिकली catchment area, right? Then we have a very important word which we commonly use in when you are talking about river. So any area which is drained by a river and by its tributaries. You have to understand these two words. One is tributary and one is distributary. Tributary basically divide from the main river and distributary add the water to main river. That you have to keep in mind, right? Any area which is drained by river और उसको हम ड्रेनेज बेसिन का नाम देते हैं ठीक है दैट यू हैव टू कीप इन माइंड इसको हम लोगों को दिमाग पर रखना है इसको हम ड्रेनेज बेसिन का नाम देते हैं क्लियर देन वी हैव इम्पॉर्टेंट ड्रेनेज पैटर्न्स विल टॉक अबाउट राइट तो आपका हर नदी का पैटर्न एक जैसा नहीं होता क्योंकि अगर हम शेप देखेंगे तो वी फाइंड डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ पैटर्न्स विच वी कम अक्रॉस राइट तो वी हैव मेनली 4 टाइप्स ऑफ ड्रेनेज पैटर्न्स विच वी कम अक्रॉस राइट जब अगर आपका ड्रेनेज पैटर्न रिजेंबल करता है इट्स जस्ट लाइक ए ब्रांच ऑफ अ ट्री तो व्हाट यू विल सी व्हाट आई एम टेलिंग यू अबाउट इट अगर आपका कोई नदी बेसिकली आपका उसका पैटर्न एक पेड़ जैसा होता है ये ट्रिब्यूटरीज हो रही हैं उसकी और ये मेन रिवर है जिसको मैंने मेन रिवर बोला एंड दिस इज बेसिकली ट्रिब्यूटरीज राइट so you find its shape of this is basically like a tree therefore I told you about अगर ऐसा कुछ होगा right maximum rivers especially if you see in northern India अगर आप नॉर्दर्न इंडिया के रिवर्स देखेंगे तो वो आपको इस पैटर्न में ही दिखती हैं उनकी शेप ब्रांच ऑफ ट्री जैसी होती है ऑलमोस्ट राइट तो एंड we call it as a dendritic pattern ठीक है that they will going to explain you later on when the river basically originated from a hill अगर कोई भी नदी आपको originate लगती है हिल से अगर आपका ये हिल है और ये हिल समझ लें आप और वहाँ से आपको दिखेगा क्या बेसिकली तो वहाँ से आपको उसका फ्लो ऐसा होगा ऑलमोस्ट क्योंकि आपकी स्लोप चारों तरफ है वो कहीं से भी गिर सकते हैं ठीक है जैसे आपका व्हील जैसी शेप होती है ना इसकी तो इट मेक्स अ शेप लाइक अ व्हील जैसा पहिया होता है आपका तो आपको वैसा भी ड्रेनेज का पैटर्न नज़र आएगा स्पेशली इन हिली एरियाज So we call this as a radial pattern, right? This pattern is known as radial pattern. Now they have given the example also, right? Then river basically originate from a very important plateau that is called Amarkantak Plateau. If you take example of Narmada, you find this type of pattern is originating in that river, right? Because this Narmada flows in Amarkantak Plateau basically. This is a very good example of it. Okay. Then we have, if you see maximum primary tributaries, the main tributaries are called basically primary tributaries when they flow parallel to each other. जैसे अगर आप लोग ले लें एक नदी ऐसे बह रही है, एक ट्रिब्यूटरी ऐसे बह रही है, एक ऐसे बह रही है, तो basically they are moving in parallel to each other, right? And one is primary tributary and second is secondary tributary, right? And what exactly happen here, right? I will give you, I will show you in diagram this Rallis pattern. This pattern is called Rallis pattern. अब इसमें क्या हो रहा है आपका, ये आपका मेन रिवर, this is one tributary and this is another tributary. You see they are moving parallel to each other. This is called primary tributary, this is called secondary tributary, right? They are moving parallel to each other and the pattern is called Rallis pattern. So you making understanding, I told you about dendritic pattern, I told you about radial pattern, now I'm talking about Rallis pattern, right? So these are three patterns which are very important, how the shape of river is designed basically. So what basically happen here, when a river discharge their water from all directions, a river can discharge their water and lake also, किसी लेक में भी गिरती हो सकती हैं, कोई बहुत बड़ा गड्ढा हो जिसको हम डिप्रेशन का नाम देते हैं उसमें भी गिर सकते हैं. तो जब ऐसा कुछ होता है जब रिवर अपने पानी को सारा डिस्चार्ज करती है किसी लेक या डिप्रेशन में, वी कॉल इट एज अ सेंट्रल पीटल पैटर्न, राइट? सो दिस पैटर्न इज आल्सो नोन एज central petal pattern, right? So we come across there is a full um, chapter on basically in ICSC class 10th, we will study topo sheet also, जहाँ पे आपको डिफरेंट टाइप के पैटर्न्स को असेस करना है, उसको बताना है कौन सा पैटर्न है. तो मैंने आप लोगों को चार तरीके के पैटर्न्स की बात करी है. अगेन आई एम गोइंग टू एक्सप्लेन यू, राइट? You just keep this in mind. Look here, very carefully. First pattern I told you about कि मैंने आपको बताया था डेंड्रेटिक पैटर्न. सो दिस इज अ पैटर्न बेसिकली, रिवर ऐसे ऐसे बहती है, सो वी कॉल इट एज अ डेंड्रेटिक पैटर्न, राइट? Told you about mainly these are the two patterns which I told you. Then I told you about this type of pattern. Can you name this? First one is called dendritic, this pattern. Then I told about this pattern is called Rallis. Sorry, this pattern is called dendritic. This is called Rallis, and this pattern is called radial. Then fourth pattern I told you, any river which discharges water in some lake or something like that, we called it a centripetal method, right? So we come across this all things we will study in topo sheet. Topo sheet is basically a map which gives lot of information about the chapter. Okay. So mainly one drainage basin, and we have another drainage basin. One drainage is on one side, another drainage is on one side. That is called basically we call it is a very important term. It is watershed. So we are trying to manage this watershed management. This is a common word which we coming across these days, right? And then we have very important definition in this chapter that is called river basin. हम लोग इसको river basin का नाम भी देते हैं. The catchment of large rivers are called river basins because rivers are very huge. कुछ रिवर्स बहुत बड़े बड़े हैं, तो उनका जो कैचमेंट एरिया होता है उसको हम लोग रिवर बेसिन का नाम देता है. Then we have small rivulets. Rivulets means small, very small rivers, and that is also known as watersheds, basically, right? So that is also called watershed. Mainly we call it as a watershed. This is all has been shown in your book. We have so many rivers have been shown. This is basically Ganga we have shown. Then we have so many tributaries which has been shown. Chambal has been shown here, right? Then we have another type of tributaries also shown here, right? Then in south we have Krishna, we have Tungabhadra, then we have Kaveri, then this river is Mahanadi, right? And then we have very important two rivers on western side, that is Narmada, then we have Tapi, right? Then we have a very important river in Gujarat, that is Sabarmati, right? Then we have Mahi river. So these all rivers are there basically. This is a full chart on that. There is a little bit difference between river basin and watershed. हम लोगों को थोड़ा सा डिफरेंस आता है रिवर बेसिन और वाटरशेड में, राइट? What is the main difference? First, watershed is small in area, right? And whenever there is a river basin, it basically covers a very large area, right? So river basins and watershed are marked. You cannot easily differentiate between both, कि कहाँ से river basin शुरू होगा और कहाँ से watershed शुरू होगा. Therefore they are marked by unity, right? That's the reason why they use this word in your book. Then we have very important um, one part of the basin or watershed directly affect the other part. तो एक जो रिवर बेसिन होता है वाटरशेड को अफेक्ट कर सकता है, वाटरशेड रिवर बेसिन को अफेक्ट कर सकता है, एंड इट एक्ट्स एज अ फुल यूनिट. ये पूरी यूनिट जैसे एक्ट हो, बेसिकली दे यूज टू एक्ट लाइक दैट. देन वी हैव therefore we have accepted that important word. If we have to plan a region in that area, then we divide into a micro region, meso region, macro region, right? Therefore we divide. If you have to plan that area, अगर आपको किसी रिवर सिस्टम को प्लान करना है तो आप उसको माइक्रो, मेसो और मैक्रो प्लानिंग रीजन्स में डिवाइड करोगे. तो इंडिया का जो ड्रेनेज सिस्टम है बेसिकली it is also divided on various bases. We have so many criteria. अगर हमको इंडिया का पूरा ड्रेनेज सिस्टम देखा है, you must have seen the map. I shown you map also, right? We have mainly ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ डिस्चार्ज, जहाँ पे रिवर्स अपना पानी को ड्रेन करती हैं. तो अगर उस हिसाब से हम इसको इंडिया के रिवर सिस्टम को क्लासीफाई करना चाहें तो वी हैव मेनली टू टाइप ऑफ क्लासिफिकेशन, राइट? वन इज अरेबियन सी ड्रेनेज एंड देन वी हैव बे ऑफ बंगाल ड्रेनेज, राइट? तो हम लोगों को ये दो पैटर्न देखने को मिलते हैं अगर हम उसको डिस्चार्ज के हिसाब से देखें, पानी जहाँ पे नदी अपना गिराती है. And these two both system are separated from a ridge that is called Delhi ridge. Ridge कुछ और नहीं होता, it's just a line, right? It's a watershed. यहाँ पे आपका बे ऑफ बंगाल हो गया, यहाँ पे अरेबियन से, तो बीच में एक गैप है, right? And basically water is divided into two parts by small ridge. Ridge कुछ और नहीं होता, एक small mountain होता है, right? That's called ridge, right? So we have Aravali's also, we have Shahadris also. These are also called water divide basically, right? ये ऐसे physical features पानी को divide करते हैं, तो we call it as a water divide basically, right? तो ये तो आपका एक classification हो गया. Now we'll take on maximum rivers basically. If you see 77% of our drainage basically in India, they drain their water. Even consist गंगा also, right? गंगा को देखें, ब्रह्मपुत्र देखें, महानदी देखें, कृष्णा देखें, 77% of river system they used to drain their water in Bay of Bengal, right? वो Bay of Bengal में अपना water को basically वो drain करते हैं, right? and 23% only rivers of India basically they drain the water in Arabian Sea drainage, right? Like we have Indus, we have Narmada, we have Tapi, we have Mahi, right? This river is in Gujarat, Mahi, right? Narmada and Tapi is in Maharashtra, right? And then we have Periyar system. Periyar is again name of a river. Periyar के बारे में आपको एक information देना चाह रहा हूँ because it's having a very important national park in Periyar, right? And this river causes flood, especially in Kerala recently, right? And they all discharge their water in Arabian Sea. This can be very good short answer question. Name the rivers which drain their water in Arabian Sea. You can mention it out. We have Narmada, we have Tapi, we have Mahi, we have Periyar system, then we have Arabian system, right? Uh, on the basis of basically of size of watershed, अगर हम लोग इसके size को देखें तो ड्रेनेज बेसिन को बेसिकली हम ग्रुप कर सकते हैं 3 कैटेगरीज में, राइट? मेनली साइज के हिसाब से तो maximum river basins which are there in India that is around 20,000 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर का कैचमेंट एरिया, काफ़ी बहुत बड़े एरिया में फैली होती हैं. तो मैक्सिमम रिवर जिनका कैचमेंट एरिया 20,000 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर है उसके हिसाब से भी हम क्लासीफाई कर सकते हैं. ठीक है, तो वी हैव मेनली 14 ड्रेनेज सिस्टम इन इंडिया whose catchment area is more than 20,000 square kilometer. So we have very important river Ganga, we have Brahmaputra. This is a very mightiest river. Um, if I ask you a question, right, just answer me. So which is the largest river of India? Can you name it? So definitely maximum people will say it is Brahmaputra. No. Why? Because ब्रह्मपुत्र का जो मेनली आपका अगर हम लोग देखें ब्रह्मपुत्र मेनली इट्स लेंथ इज 2,900 किलोमीटर, राइट? और गंगा की है अराउंड 2,500 किलोमीटर. लेकिन मेरा आंसर इसमें ये होगा गंगा इज द लार्जेस्ट रिवर ऑफ इंडिया. Why I'm telling you like that? Because maximum area which is covered by Brahmaputra that is outside India. Therefore, Ganga is the largest river system as compared to Brahmaputra. Then we have 14 drainage system which I told you. Then Ganga, Brahmaputra, then we have Krishna, then we have Tapi, then we have Narmada, then we have Mahi, then we have Pannar, we have Sabarmati, then Barak. These all river 14 drainage river system where catchment area is more than 20,000 square kilometer. तो we can classify according to that also. जैसे मैंने अभी आपको बताया था जो river का drain के हिसाब से हमने classify किया. One I told you it's Arabian sea drainage basin. I told you then we have Bay Bengal system से classify किया था. अब हम classify कर रहे हैं drains को according to their size. So we have some rivers which is having more than size of 20,000 square kilometer of a catchment area. Then we have some another rivers whose catchment area is around between 2,000 and 20,000 square kilometer. And how many rivers are is in it? That is 44 river systems are there in it. So one is which are river in that size. One is Kalanadi, and one is Periyar, and one is Meghna. One out of it, right? So, so I told you already the classification, right? So first classification which I did on the basis of where drain falls. Now on according to size we are trying to classify. The first classification I told you where the size of river is more than 20,000 square kilometer. The distance of the river is like that. Now I'm talking about some medium river basins where the size lies between 2,000 to 20,000 square kilometer. So how many river systems we have basically uh, for this? You find that we have 44 river basins are there which comes under this category. That is one is Kalinadi, then we have Periyar, then we have Meghna. These are some important rivers which lies in this group, right? Medium river basin I'm talking about. Then we have third base. Then we have minor river basins. Here the catchment area is less. It is less than 2000 square kilometer. So three main classification in this category I did. One is large river basin, one is medium river basin, then we have minor river basins. So we have so many rivers which are very small in number. So we have so many rivers which come under this minor river basin category. And mainly in these river system which is minor river basins, this is an area of very low rainfall. यहाँ पे बरसात बहुत कम होती है और इसीलिए इनका साइज बहुत बड़ा नहीं होता, right? Then we have you can see in figure 3.1 which is there in a book, right? Maximum rivers have their source in Himalayas. Can you name reason? Can you reason it? Why the maximum rivers have their source in Himalayas, and why northern rivers are mainly parallel in nature, right? And second thing which you come across, that maximum river discharge their water in Bay of Bengal as compared to Arabian Sea, right? So we have to identify some northern rivers, right? Mainly we see large river which flow on the Peninsular Plateau. So whenever I'm talking about Peninsular Plateau, I'm talking about South India. They have their origin, maximum peninsular rivers have their origin in Western Ghats, right? क्योंकि उनका origin Western Ghats में होता है. आप लोगों को पता है ना Western Ghats कहाँ पर है mainly? अगर आप लोग इंडिया का एक आउट ऐसे बाउंड्री बना रहा हूँ, right? This is basically a Western Ghats, okay? And this is Eastern Ghats, okay? So that's it. तो मैक्सिमम पेंसुलर रिवर्स का जो ओरिजिन है वो दैट इज इन वेस्टर्न घाट्स एंड मेनली दे डिस्चार्ज द वाटर इन बे ऑफ बंगाल. मैक्सिमम रिवर्स का जो आप लोग देखेंगे वो अपना पानी बे ऑफ बंगाल में डिस्चार्ज करता है, राइट? तो कैन यू आइडेंटिफाई साउथ इंडियन रिवर्स बेसिकली? क्या आप लोग आइडेंटिफाई कर पाएंगे साउथ इंडिया के रिवर्स जो अपना रिवर अपना वाटर को डिस्चार्ज वेस्टर्न घाट्स में करते हैं? वी हैव टू एक्सेप्शंस हियर, राइट? One is Narbada and Tapi. These are the two large rivers, but they are very exceptional, right? The reason is because they discharge their water in Arabian Sea, not in Bay of Bengal, right? Then we come across with some small rivers also which discharge their water in Arabian Sea, but maximum rivers 77%, if you take 77% of the river discharge their water in Bay of Bengal, right? So we have next is can you name the rivers of western coastal region from the Konkan to Malabar coast? अगर आप लोग देखें, if I show you in map, if I show you in map, this is Western Ghat which I told you, right? तो ये गुजरात से लेकर आपको गोवा तक का अगर हम एरिया देखें, इसको हम लोग कहते हैं कोंकण. From this area to this area is called Malabar coast. इसको हम मालाबार कोस्ट का नाम देंगे, इसको हम मालाबार कोस्ट का नाम देंगे, right? So that's it. Mainly you have to keep this in mind. And then you have to see mainly if you see अगर हम लोग देखें ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ मूड ऑफ ऑरिजिन, कहाँ से ऑरिजिन होती है और उनका नेचर देखें रिवर्स का, ये कैरेक्टरिस्टिक देखें, तो मोड ऑफ ऑरिजिन के हिसाब से, उनकी नेचर के हिसाब से, वेदर दे आर पेरेनियल एंड नॉन पेरेनियल, ऑन दैट बेसिस आई टोल्ड यू अबाउट नेचर and if you see the characteristics of these rivers. Then also river can be classified into mainly two type of systems. One is called Himalayan drainage system and one is called Himalayan drainage system and one is called peninsular drainage system, right? तो मेनली आप लोगों को दिखेगा कि दो टाइप के सिस्टम है हमारे देश में मेनली, जिसको हम फॉलो करते हैं। इस क्लासिफिकेशन को हम बहुत इंपॉर्टेंस देते हैं। वन इज़ हिमालय ड्रेनेज सिस्टम एंड वन इज़ कॉल्ड पेंसिल ड्रेनेज। नाम से पता लग रहा होगा, जो हिमालय ड्रेनेज सिस्टम है, आपको नॉर्थ इंडियन रिवर्स की बात कर रहा हूँ। सो वेन एवर आई एम टॉकिंग पेंसिलर ड्रेनेज, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट साउथ इंडियन रिवर, राइट? So we have some problem of including some rivers, whether to include in Himalayan drainage system or peninsular drainage system, because their location is mainly in north also, their location is in south also. Like we have some exceptions where we cannot classify them into Himalayans and peninsular. One is Chambal, then we have Betwa, then we have Son. These are all tributaries of Ganga basically, right? So but we have some problem to include in what, whether we should include in a Himalayan drainage system or whether we should include them in a peninsular drainage system. ठीक है? They are very old in age, right? जैसे आपकी एज होती है वैसे ही रिवर्स की भी एज होती है. I told you there are so many geographical age basically, right? And origin of these rivers are very old. Whether you talk about Chambal, whether you take about Betwa, whether you take example of Son. But their origin is basically in Himalayas. So we can consider, no doubt. Okay, we will not see their direction or area where it falls. We will consider from where actually they originate from Himalayas, right? So mainly in your book we have classified this type of system mainly, right? So we have mainly drainage system of India. So now your chapter actually starts. This is a topic that has been mentioned in the book, drainage system of India. So we have so many rivers in India. Our drainage system consists of so many small rivers. Then we have big rivers. It consists of small rivers also. It consists of big rivers also, right? Why is it so? ड्यू टू देयर एवोल्यूशनरी प्रोसेस. जब ये ऑरिजिन होगी तो उस पर डिपेंड करता है कि ये स्मॉल होंगी कि बिग होंगी. देन वी हैव मेनली थ्री मेजर फिजियोग्राफिक यूनिट्स इन इंडिया बेसिकली, and that I will tell you later on in chapter number 2. I will explain you what this physiographic means. We have physical divisions. हम लोग हिमालयाज एक physical division है, then coastal region we have, then we have an islands, then we have deserts. Everything is there in India, right? Then which type of precipitation is there in India? बरसात कितनी होती है, right? आपकी कुछ एरिया में बरसात बहुत ज़्यादा होती है, कुछ में कम होती है. Precipitation have in so many forms, right? It can be in the form of snow, it can be in the water droplets, it can be in the form of rain, whatever it is. So first of all we will take on Himalayan drainage system. हम लोग अब इस Himalayan drainage system को देखते हैं ये कैसा है, right? तो हिमालयन ड्रेनेज सिस्टम बेसिकली इवॉल्व थ्रू अ लॉन्ग जियोलॉजिकल सिस्टम हिस्ट्री. इसकी बहुत पुरानी हिस्ट्री है. ये बहुत ओल्ड एज में हमारे रिवर्स का फॉर्मेशन हुआ था. तो वेन एवर आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट हिमालय ड्रेनेज सिस्टम, तो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रिवर इन दिस कैटेगरी कम्स गंगा. गंगा इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रिवर इन दिस, राइट? आप लोगों को एक और चीज़ भी बताना चाहूँगा. 60% ऑफ आवर पीपल लिव्स नियर गंगा, राइट? और उनका ऑक्यूपेशन टोटली गंगा पे डिपेंड है. बट still ironical, we are not taking care of this river, right? And second very important river is Indus. Indus, already I told you whenever I was talking about civilizations, I told you about this Indus civilization. Then we have third river system which is very important part of the Himalayan drainage system, that is Brahmaputra, right? And how this river system basically fed, how they basically fed. They are mainly fed by melting of snow. हिमालयाज के कुछ, क्योंकि हिमालयाज की हाइट सबसे बड़ी है, इट्स टॉलेस्ट mountains of the world, we already know, right? There are glaciers. So in summertime what exactly happens? They used to melt, and when it melts it gives a lot of water to this. And precipitation in these areas is also very important factor. Therefore we find water throughout in this rivers. तो पानी सारा साल इन नदियों में रहता है, राइट. तो इन नदियों में पानी का सारा साल रहने का कारण because of melting of snow. That's the major reason, right? So therefore these rivers are perennial in nature. So you must have come across, आप लोगों को समझ में आ गया होगा कि why these rivers are perennial. मैंने आप लोगों को perennial का मतलब बताया था ना. Water remains throughout in this. आप लोगों को पानी पूरा साल रहना. मैंने आपको बोला था perennial rivers are those where water remains throughout. What are the reasons behind this? Why they are perennial? Because of melting of snow. Melting of snow, I told you, right? मैंने आप लोगों को ये बोला. And then we have these river basically have very big gorges. Deep caves are basically called gorges, right? तो होता क्या है जब रिवर के सामने कोई हार्ड रॉक आती है तो रिवर उसको पेनिट्रेट करने की कोशिश करती है, बट इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल दैट इट कैन पेनिट्रेट सो इजीली, right? So it makes us very deep type of cave. That's called basically we call it as a gorge, right? हम लोग इसको gorge का नाम दे देते हैं. And so many erosional activities are also possible in that area, क्योंकि बहुत सारी erosion होती है उस region में, तोड़फोड़ होती है, उसको erosion कहते हैं basically, right? And that was the reason why Himalayas rose up also. There is also a very big story which I am going to tell you later on. हिमालयस का origin कैसे हुआ. तो हिमालय का origin भी rivers के कारण ही हुआ है, right? That is the theory basically given. In this area we come across deep gorges, जो मैं आपको बताता हूँ deep caves होती हैं. Then basically this river makes V shape valleys. ऐसी shape होती है. तो rapids होते हैं कि छोटे छोटे mountains एरिया बीच में आना, that's called basically rapids, right? कुछ rivers के बीच में बहुत rapids आते हैं और that is very dangerous times, right? Especially for adventure sports, when people are practicing adventure sports. Then we come across waterfalls in this river system. We come across with waterfalls also, ठीक है, because it's a mountainous course. जैसे human being having its own time period, like we have child age, we have mature age, we have old age. Same way river also having same ages, right? It is young age, mature age, and then old age. So whatever the features I told you about, whether I told you about gorges, I told you about, whether I told you V-shaped valley, I told you about rapids, I told you about waterfalls, they are the features of young age, right? So इसका मतलब है हमारी जो हिमालयन रिवर्स हैं अभी भी यंग एज में मूव कर रही हैं. सो मेनली बिफोर एंटरिंग टू द प्लेन्स, जब आपका ओरिजिन हुआ किसी रिवर का तो वो प्लेन्स में भी आएंगी, ठीक है, और फिर जो भी चीज़ उनके साथ होती है, जो उन्होंने तोड़फोड़ की होती है, दे यूज टू डिपॉजिट दोज थिंग्स. एंड वी कम अक्रॉस विद सो मेनी फीचर्स लाइक दैट. वी कम अक्रॉस विद फ्लैट वैलीज एंड देन वी ऑक्सबुल लेक्स. एक लेक्स होती हैं जिसकी शेप ऑलमोस्ट ऑक्स के पैर जैसी होती है, देयरफॉर द नेम हैज़ बीन गिवन ऑक्सबो लेक, राइट. Then we have flood plains, any plain which is formed through with the help of floods, we call it flood plains. Then we come across with in this region braided channels. Brahmaputra is a river which makes a braided channel. What basically braided channel means? Small islands का formation होना थोड़ा दूर पर. That's called basically braided channels, right? Deltas. What is this delta means? Delta means deposition of a river is called basically delta. It can be of different shapes, okay. So we come across with so many features, whether it is from origin to reaching to plain area. Plain area they deposit, therefore we come across with this type of features. We come across with flat valleys, we come across with oxbow lakes, we come across with flood plains, we come across with braided channels, we come across with deltas and all of things. When when these rivers in Himalaya, right, and then it reaches to plain area, then we come across with this river shows a strong very strong meandering tendency. What is meandering tendency? Tendency. Uh, a river never moves in a straight line, right? It moves in a zigzag way like that. This is called meanders basically. And these rivers never move in a straight line. They shift their courses again and again, and that's the reason why they causes floods, right? River, like now I'm giving example why if they shift their courses, what will happen. So I've given the example now, the river Kosi. कोसी को सौरव बिहार कहा जाता है. ऐसे एक और रिवर है जिसको आप सौरव बंगाल कहते हैं. कैन यू नेम इट? द नेम ऑफ द रिवर इज दामोदर, राइट? दामोदर वाज आल्सो नोन एज सौरव ऑफ बंगाल, राइट? दामोदर को सौरव ऑफ बंगाल कहा जाता है. वाई? बिकॉज they causes floods, and that's the reason they change their course again and again. Whenever they change the course, it definitely floods, right? So कोसी brings lot of sediments also. नदी अपने साथ बहुत सारा सेडिमेंट लेकर आएगी, अपना भार बहुत सारा लेके आएगी, पत्थर लेके आएगी, देन कीचड़ लेके आएगी, राइट? कहाँ से लेके आएगी? फ्रॉम अपर रीचेस, फ्रॉम वेयर इट ओरिजिन्स. और कहाँ पे बिछाती है वो? प्लेन एरिया में बिछाती है. इट डिपॉजिट ऑल इट सेडिमेंट इन दैट, राइट? And what happens is actually when it deposits again and again, the course of the river basically blocked. And when अगर नदी है बीच में और यहाँ पर उसने डिपॉजिट किया हुआ, बहुत सारी नदी आ रही है, डिपॉजिट कर रही है लगातार, what will happen? This deposition basically gives obstruction to the main river, right? And what will happen? Then river changes its path, ऐसे कर लेगी. And when it happens, then definitely it causes so much dissection, and that's the reason why Kosi used to do it such a things. And क्योंकि upper region से वो बहुत सारी चीज़ें लेकर आएगी, and then it deposits in some plain area, and then it causes floods, right? Then we have what does do you think discharge the water of rivers in general and the coast in particular remains the same, or does it fluctuate? Whatever river is depositing, whether it remains same, deposition remains same. That's the question which they want to ask you. And second question which they want to ask you, when does the river course receive the maximum quantity of water? पानी कब रिवर्स में बहुत सारा होगा, और पानी का ज़्यादा होना या कम होने से इसके पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव इफेक्ट्स बताने हैं आपको. फ्लडिंग का कोई पॉजिटिव इफेक्ट भी होगा, नेगेटिव इफेक्ट भी होगा. डेफिनेटली यस. इफ आई से the answer is almost yes, right? Now we'll take on how these rivers evoluted, right? How they formed. That's the main question. So I've been talking about evolution of Himalayan drainage. There are difference of opinions. बहुत सारा opinion में change है ये rivers का formation कैसे हुआ. But geologists, who are these geologist persons who assess rock, right? These are the people who can understand कितने मिनरल हैं किस रॉक में, ये रॉक कैसी है. दीज आर द पीपल हु आर कॉल्ड जियोलॉजिस्ट, राइट? दे बिलीव दैट माइटी रिवर, एक बहुत बड़ी रिवर है जिसको हम शिवालिक या इंडो ब्रह्मा रिवर का नाम भी देते हैं. और वो बहुत सारे उसका एक्सटेंशन बहुत दूर तक था. उसका एक्सटेंशन उस रिवर का हिमालय से लेकर असम तक था, राइट? हिमालय से लेकर असम तक, और फिर पंजाब से लेकर सिंध तक, और फाइनली वो अपना पानी कहाँ डिस्चार्ज करती थी. देन देयर इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट गल्फ, वी कॉल इट गल्फ ऑफ सिंध. व्हाट डज गल्फ मीन्स? द गैप बिटवीन टू लैंड मासेस इज कॉल्ड गल्फ, राइट? You see Gujarat, this is called basically Gulf, right? This is called Gulf of Kutch, right? And then which period they are talking about? I told you there are so many ages in our geography. That is called Mysoon period, right? That is around originating from 5 to 24 million years ago. So we have a very important big river which we call it शिवालिक और इंडो ब्रह्मा रिवर, और उसका एक्सटेंशन कहाँ से कहाँ तक था? हिमालय से लेके असम तक था, और पंजाब से लेके सिंध तक था, एंड इट फाइनली डिस्चार्ज द वाटर इन गल्फ ऑफ सिंध, राइट? व्हेन it happens in Mysoon period. That is this period starts from 5 million years to 24 million years, right? So that's it. So उसके बाद what exactly happen? और कंटिन्यूटी होती रही इस रिवर की, राइट. एंड उसके बाद देर इज़ ए फेज आफ्टर माइसून पीरियड, देर इज़ ए एज विच वी कॉल इट एज एन एज ऑफ लैक्रोस्ट्राइन ऑरिजिन. सो रिवर क्या करती रहेगी, अपने साथ बहुत सारा डिपॉजिट अलुवियल फॉर्म में, अलुवियल इज नेम ऑफ ए सॉइल, राइट. सैंड बहुत ज़्यादा होता है इस डिपॉजिट में. They used to deposit again and again, and that alluvial deposit consists of what? It consists of sand, it consists of silt, it consists of clay, it consists of boulders. Big boulders means big in size, right? Then conglomerates of any size, and this deposition continuously occurring for so many years. Then what exactly happen here? uh, then we have, in due course of time, what exactly happen? uh, Indo-Brahma river, whatever it is, it divided into three main drainage systems. One is, this system is called Indus, and its five tributaries. Whenever I'm talking about Indus, I'm talking about five tributaries. So which are these five tributaries? Ravi, Byas, Jhelum, Chenab, right? So Satluj. These are the five main tributaries of Indus, right? So first river system which has been divided from this Shivalik or Indo-Brahma river to one system which has been started, that is Indus and its five tributaries, that is in western part of India, right. So Pakistan is mainly depend on Indus. Then second river which has been originated from this river is Ganga and its Himalayan tributaries. Ganga have so many tributaries, right? I've shown you in the map. We have so many tributaries of Ganga is there. We have Son, Chenab, we have Son, Chambal, Yamuna, Gomti, Ghagra, Kosi. These are all tributaries of Ganga, right? That becomes a central part of the river. Then we have a very important river, that is third river which has been formed from this main river, that is Brahmaputra. अब ब्रह्मपुत्र का जो कैचमेंट एरिया है या इसका मैक्सिमम एरिया है, दैट लाइज इन असम एंड हिमालयन ट्रिब्यूटरीज. So we come across with three main river system here, right? From this river, one is Indus, one is Ganga, and one is Brahmaputra, right? So that is all there in it, right? And why this thing happened? Due to Pleistocene upheaval. What is Pleistocene? Is the name of a geological age. तो इसमें हुआ क्या था कि एक बहुत सारे सेडिमेंट डिपॉजिट हो गए थे. अपील का मतलब होता है राइज ऑफ समथिंग, राइट, स्पेशली इन वेस्टर्न हिमालयाज. और देर इज वन प्लेटू हैज बीन फॉर्म, दैट इज कॉल्ड पोतवार प्लेटू, राइट. इसको हम दिल्ली रेज भी बोलते हैं. और इसने वाटर डिवाइड का काम किया. वाटर डिवाइड मैंने आप लोगों को पहले बताया था, इट्स जस्ट लाइक दैट. आपका एक ऐसा डिवीजन होना दो नदियों के बीच में, उसके कारण आपका नदी का डिवीजन हो गया, आपके तीन रिवर सिस्टम बन गए. और इट एक्ट एज अ वाटर डिवाइड बिटवीन इंडस एंड गंगा ड्रेनेज सिस्टम. So how this three main river system has been originated, right? Then we have in western Himalaya, one thing is very important. एक का राइज होना और एक का राइज होना और एक का डाउनफॉल होना, राइट. तो आपका पोतवार प्लेटू इज राइजिंग, मालदा गैप इज कमिंग डाउन. मालदा गैप वेयर इट इज नियर राजमहल हिल्स. आपका जो ईस्टर्न उड़ीसा साइड में है राजमहल हिल्स, और मेघालय प्लेटू तक ही जाता है. तो इसमें प्लेस्टोसिन पीरियड में ये डाउन इसका नीचे आने लग गया, राइट. इससे क्या हुआ, जो गंगा थी और जो ब्रह्मपुत्र रिवर है मेनली, they drain their water in Bay of Bengal, and that's the answer for that. If you have to explain it more, तो एक इसका जो मालदा गैप का नीचे आना, that causes this river to drain the water in Bay of Bengal. That is the reason why maximum rivers drain their water in Bay of Bengal, right? So this is all I told you about how this river system has been originated, especially about North Indian river I'm talking about. Then we have Indus system. Now we'll take one by one all your river systems. We'll take on first Indus system, Indus river system. The first characteristic of Indus system is it's the largest river basins. Pakistan is totally dependent on Indus river system, right? And it's covering around an area of 165,000 square kilometer. Right, in India, because its share is less, so half is in India and half is in Pakistan, 321 to 89 square kilometer. And total length of a river is around 2,880 kilometer. In India it is 1,114 kilometer. इंडस को हम लोग सिंधु भी बोलते हैं. Therefore, in maxim books, Indus river is also known as Sindhu river. Right? भारत का नाम भी इससे सिंधु घाटी सभ्यता बोलते हैं हम इसको. जो Indus Valley civilization has been flourished, we call it as Sindhu घाटी सभ्यता also. तो Indus is basically western most of the Himalayas में origin होती है इसमें. और there is a glacier from where it actually originated. The name of that glacier is called Bokar Chahu. They have mentioned about its latitude 31 degree 15 north latitude and 18 degree 40 degree east के आसपास का है. और ये ग्लेशियर कहाँ पे है? इट लाइज इन अ प्लेस इन तिब्बतीन रीजन. इट लाइज इन तिब्बत बेसिकली, जहाँ पे ये ग्लेशियर है वहाँ से इंडस रिवर का ओरिजिन होता है मेनली. और इसकी हाइट कितनी है ग्लेशियर की? 4164 मीटर पे. और ये कहाँ पर है? ये कैलाश माउंटेन रेंज में. दिस इज वेरी स्पिरिचुअल टाइप ऑफ माउंटेन फॉर अस आल्सो. मैक्सिमम पीपल वांट टू विजिट दिस कैलाश माउंटेन्स, राइट? In Tibet, we call because maximum root of this river falls in Tibet, so we call this river as Singhi Kamban. This is Tibetan word, right? They call it as Singhi Kamban or loin mouth, right? हम इसको loin mouth के नाम से भी जानते हैं, ठीक है? And after moving from northwest direction, uh, it comes under a very important two areas. One is Ladakh and one is Jaskar range, right? So after flowing in northwest direction, whenever I'm talking northwest direction, it comes under area in Ladakh and Jaskar ranges. These are name of mountains. So after moving from Ladakh to Jaskar ranges, it passed through a place called Baltistan, that is in Pakistan. And definitely when river is flowing, it cut Ladakh range, erosion करती चली जाती है, and then it forms a very famous gorge, which we call it as a Gilgit in Jammu and Kashmir. This is the name of a gorge basically. This place we come across so many times, especially in news. Gilgit. Gilgit is a very important place, right? It's a very famous gorge. Then this river enters to Pakistan because maximum share of this river falls in Pakistan. There is a place called Chillar, right? That is a very important region of Pakistan that is called Dardistan region. That is a part of the POK, Pakistan occupied Kashmir, right? So this place lies in that. Then we come across with so many tributaries of Indus. Indus is divided in so many tributaries, right? We come across with Shyok, then we come across with Gilgit, then we have Jaskar, then we have Hunza river, then we have Nubra, then we have Shigar, then we have Gasting, then Dras. These are name of the tributaries of Indus river. If by chance examiner want to ask you at how many tributaries are there, 5 to major one is there, but other tributaries are also there, which are very very important. Then finally it emerge over the hill that is near Attock, that is again in Pakistan, and then it meets a river called Kabul River from its right bank. So that's it. Then we have another important tributaries which also join from the right bank to the Indus. We have to consider which are the right bank tributaries and which are the left bank tributaries. So we have to think about right bank tributaries of this, right? हम लोग ये देखेंगे कि राइट बैंक में कौन कौन सी ट्रिब्यूटरीज आती हैं. तो वी कम अक्रॉस विद राइट बैंक ट्रिब्यूटरीज आर खुर्रम, टोची, and then we have Gomal, then we have Bua, then we have Sangar, right? These all rivers, whether we are talking about, they basically all are from originate from a place called Suleiman Range. This is a very famous mountain range of Pakistan, Suleiman Range. तो ये जितनी भी आपकी रिवर राइट्स बैंक्स हैं इंडस में मिलती हैं अगर, they basically originate from the Suleiman Range. Then this river flows south and receive a very important area, a river system that is called Panjnad. Panjnad होता है मतलब 5 नदियों का समूह, right? That is a place called Mettencourt. That is again okay, right? Panjnad is named basically given to 5 rivers of Punjab. पहले पंजाब का नाम भी इसी में पड़ा है. The name of Punjab has been given for this reason only, because Punjab is a land of 5 rivers. Mainly, which are these 5 main rivers? One is Satluj, one is Beas, one is Ravi, one is Chenab, and one is Jhelum. These are the 5 main tributaries of Indus, right? And finally, after meeting and going through this passage, it discharge into the main sea, that is the Arabian Sea. Arabian Sea में जाके river discharge हो जाता है. So that is the east of Karachi. Karachi is in Pakistan, right? This place is in Pakistan. So ये पाकिस्तान में है mainly. So mainly Indus flow in India through our important district of Jammu and Kashmir, that is Leh, right? So that's so we'll take on one by one tributary of that. First we'll take on Jhelum. Jhelum is a very important tributary of Indus, as you already know. It rises from a spring. झरने से इसका origin होता है. The name of that spring is called Verinag. Verinag, right? And where it lies in Jammu Kashmir, that's Pir Panjal, that is southeastern part of Kashmir, right? So mainly Jhelum का rise वहाँ पे होता है. Then we have a very important lake, and Jhelum flows through Srinagar, and then we come across with a very important physical feature of Jammu and Kashmir, a very beautiful lake that's called Wular Lake. Before entering to Pakistan, it meets this Wular Lake, and then we come across with narrow gorge in this. I told you already about Himalayan rivers features. They forming V-shaped valley. We come across with so many rapids. We come across with waterfalls and all, and then it join a very important river, second important river of Indus, that is Chenab, right? Chenab से जाकर पाकिस्तान के जंग में उसके साथ मिल जाती है. Now we'll take on another second tributary of Indus, that is basically Chenab. So we'll take on Chenab. Chenab we already know, it's the largest tributary of Indus. So basically, short answer question can be asked. Name the largest tributary of Indus, and definitely your answer will be. So I told you about that Chenab. It is the largest tributary of India, Indus, which I told you already, right? And mainly it is formed by mainly two streams. इसको दो streams आके मिलती हैं. One is called Chandra, and then we have Bhaga. They meet, these two tributaries meet them at a place called Tandi. Tandi is a very important place in Himachal Pradesh near Kelong. बहुत ठंडा सा एरिया है ये केलोंग हिमाचल प्रदेश में. So therefore this is also known as Chandrabhaga, because this is a combination of two rivers. One is Chandra and one is Bhaga, where they meet at a place called Tandi, which is near Kelong, and the river flows around 1180 kilometers in India before enter into Pakistan. So maximum जो Indus rivers के बारे में which I am talking about, that is mainly half in India and half in Pakistan. So I told you about already two rivers. Now we'll take on third river, that is the third tributary of Indus. So we will take on Ravi, which is again a very important tributary of Indus. Mainly where it rises. We go there. So many tourists visit every year this place, that is Rohtang Pass. Okay, Rohtang basically very important. So it rises from a place called west of Rohtang, Rohtang is where? It is in Kullu hills of Himachal, right? Himachal Pradesh के कुल्लू area में रोहतांग पास है. And then it flows to a very important valley that is called Chamba Valley. तो ये यहाँ से स्टार्ट होती है और यहाँ चंबा वैली तक पहुँचती है. बिफोर एंटरिंग पाकिस्तान इट mainly join with Chenab. There is a place called Sarai Sidhu, right? So that's there. तो पाकिस्तान ज्वाइन करने से पहले और ये अपना मेनली ड्रेन्स it mainly drains the area between southeast part of Pir Panjal and Dhauladhar. These are very very important ranges of Himalayas, Pir Panjal and Dhauladhar. तो इस एरिया को ये ड्रेन भी करती है. सो लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स विच वी आर गेटिंग फ्रॉम दिस रिवर दैट इज चिनाब. So mainly I told you about three main tributaries of Indus. Now we'll take on a very important, which is maximum share is in India itself. That is Byas. Byas is again a very important tributary. Tributary of what? Which river की tributary है Byas? That is of Indus. So mainly it originates from there is a Kund near Rohtang. If by chance you go to Rohtang, then you can see actual place from where this originate. We can see it, right? There is a Kund basically that has been formed. Kund is nothing else. It's basically a depression where rivers originate. And this Rohtang passes at the height of around 4,000 meter from the sea level. Then this river enters into a valley called Kullu Valley. नाम से पता लग रहा है that is in Himachal Pradesh. Kullu is a very important place in Himachal Pradesh. Then it form gorge. Already I told you about the features. Gorge is a deep cave, nothing else, right? Then there is a place in the Dhauladhar range. It enters into that. Then it enters to Punjab. It enters into Punjab, right? Where it meets very important two rivers. One is Satluj and one is Harik. So this I told you about four important tributaries of Indus. Now we'll take on another part, that is Satluj, another river, that is Satluj. Satluj originate in a lake. Now this is Raka's lake. And this Raka lake, where it is, this is again a very important place for Hinduism. हिंदू स्पिरिचुअलिटी, बिकॉज मैक्सिमम थिंग्स ऑरिजिनेट फ्रॉम मानसरोवर. बहुत शुद्ध मानी जाती है स्पिरिचुअल वाइज से. दिस मानसरोवर इज एट एन हाइट ऑफ 4,555 मीटर in Tibet, and where it is known in Tibetan language, that is called Langchen Khambab. Satluj is also known as Langchen Khambab, right? So by chance if anyone asks you in Tibetan language that what does Langchen Khambab means, don't confuse with this name. That is Satluj, and almost it flows parallel to river Indus, about 400 kilometer. It remains parallel to Indus before enter to India. And then there is a very important gorge. It formed gorge at Ropar. Ropar is in Punjab. Ropar is also known as, you already know, Ropar, we have very important site that has been excavated in Indus Valley civilization. Indus में जब आपको class 12th, if I'm going to teach history, then I will tell you that Indus civilization, this is a very important site at Ropar in Punjab. Some sites have been found at Punjab, so one is Ropar also, right? So it enters there. Then we have very important glacier that is called Shipikila. It passes through that gorge. Then it is in Himalaya and enters into Punjab plain. Basically it is antecedent type of river. It's a very important tributary because maximum hydroelectricity generated from Bhakra Nangal. So Bhakra जो dam है, that has been constructed on river Satluj. Therefore it is very very important. So maximum electricity which we are getting now That is due to this tributary. So we should be thankful to this river, and it feeds a lot of canal system. Canal system is very important for Indian agriculture, because 70% of people still depend on agriculture in India. So water problem is always there. So we have to depend on irrigation if we have to continue our agriculture system, right? So we have a very important project which has been constructed on this river, that is Bhakranangal project, right? So mainly in competition exams also they ask so that which dam, which project has been constructed on river Satluj. So your answer automatically will be Bhakranangal project. So this I told you about Indus. Now we'll take on very important river for India, that is Ganga system. Hmm? Ganga is a very important river for India, and for India it's very important. I told you because 60% of occupation directly or indirectly depend on Ganga. So therefore it's a very important basin also, and it has a cultural significance. You already know. For Hindus हम लोग माँ कहते हैं गंगा को. It's just like a mother for us, right? So there are so many projects which has been on this river for cleaning this river at Namami Ganga project. This is the name of a scheme which has been started to clean this Ganga, right? So mainly it rises from a glacier that is called Gangotri, right? Gangotri is a glacier, right? And this glacier originate at a place called Gomukh. You see, one thing is you can see, you must be fascinated by this. All words start from G. You know? It rises from glacier called Gangotri, and it is near Gomukh. These all places are in Uttarkashi district of Uttaranchal. Hmm. Uh, okay, I am asking you a question, right? Just answer it. What is the capital of Uttaranchal? Hmm? Okay, you must have given the answer, I think. No, that is Dehradun, right? Ganga is also known as Bhagirathi. Must be there are some religious meaning behind this. Therefore, the name has been given Bhagirathi also, right? Then mainly it cuts through a central and lesser Himalayas. Himalayas is divided into so many parts, right? Western Himalayas, Eastern Himalayas, Central Himalayas. Then Shivaliks are basically known as lesser Himalayas also. So it cut through this central part of Himalayas and lesser Himalayas, and here they form narrow gorges, not so deep gorges. It's just like narrow gorges. Then at a place called Deprayag, they meet Bhagirathi River, right? At a place called Alaknanda. So it is also known as basically Ganga, right? Alaknanda has its source at a glacier called Satopant Glacier. अलकनंदा हैज़ इट्स सोर्स. मैंने आपको सारी रिवर्स के सोर्स बताए. तो अलकनंदा आल्सो हैविंग इट्स सोर्स एट अ ग्लेशियर कॉल्ड सतोपंत that is near Badrinath. So we have so many um, areas of religious significance. One is Badrinath is very important, right? Alaknanda basically consists of mainly two important tributaries. One is Dhauli Ganga and one is Vishnu Ganga, and they meet at a place Joshimath. This all places are in Uttaranchal. Now इसको विष्णु प्रयाग भी बोलते हैं, right? Okay, so we have other tributaries of Alaknanda also there. That is at Pinda, and then we have Mandakini or Kali Ganga meets them at a place called Rudraprayag. Then this is all mountainous area because I'm talking about Uttaranchal. Now back to the plain area. Now it enters into a plain area. So Ganga enters into plain where? In Haridwar. Haridwar as compared to other places of Uttaranchal, it's a plain area almost. First it moves to south, then it moves to southeast, then it split into two distributaries. One is Bhagirathi and one is Hooghly, right? Bhagirath's main area, catchment area is around in Uttaranchal only. Hooghly goes to West Bengal and all, right? The length of river is 2,500 5 kilometer. So Ganga is shared by so many states. One is Uttaranchal, 110 kilometers. Uttar Pradesh, 1450 kilometers. Then we have Bihar. So many states are shared Ganga, right? And 445 kilometers somewhere in Bihar. And then we have West Bengal. West Bengal, the share is 520 kilometers. Ganga basin is very large basin, uh, that is around 8.6 lakh square kilometer India alone. So if I say Ganga is the largest system in India, so we have to agree on this, okay? And so many number of perennial and non-perennial rivers also originate from Himalayas. मैंने आप लोगों को बताया था we have two types of rivers, one is called perennial and one is called non-perennial. Perennial means जिसमें पानी सारा साल रहता है, right? And then now we will take on some right bank tributaries of Ganga. The one is Son, which is very important tributary of Ganga. It meets Ganga at a right bank, right? Son यहाँ से ऐसे आती है और गंगा को मिलती है आकर, right? So that's that. Then we have some left bank tributaries also. We have so many left bank tributaries of Ganga, that is Ram Ganga. Then we have Gomti. Then we have Ghagra. Then we have Gandak. Then we have Kosi. Kosi already I told you, it's a sort of Bihar, right? I told you, and why I told you why it's called sort of Bihar. And finally, river discharge itself into Bay of Bengal, right? Near Sagar Island. So that already I told you, okay? Then we have a very important river. Whenever the name of Ganga comes, automatically Yamuna is also there. It's again westernmost river of Ganga. It's the longest tributary of Ganga, and mainly the source of Yamuna is from Yamunotri glacier. The origin of Yamuna is from a glacier called Yamunotri. Where this Yamunotri glacier located at a slope of Bandarpanch range, that is 6,316 kilometers, where Yamuna meets Ganga, that is at a place called Prayag. Allahabad को प्रयाग भी बोलते हैं, right? This is very important for us. Allahabad is very very important for us. हम लोगों को टाइम का देखना है तो we have to consider Allahabad. That's very important, right? Then we have a river called Chambal, that is in near Gwalior. Then we have Sindh, Betwa. Then we have Kane. This is a right bank tributaries, and it mainly originate from a peninsular plateau of Hindan. Then we have Rind, Singer, Varuna. This also join on from the left bank. And maximum water of Yamuna feed the western and eastern Yamuna. And Agra Canal is also constructed from Yamuna itself. Why they are constructing canals? For irrigation purposes. Okay, so Ganga and Yamuna is solving so many purposes of us, especially in agriculture sector. Then we have a very important river, that is Chambal. That is a place, it rises up from a place called Mahu, that is in Malwa Plateau of Madhya Pradesh. Mahu has army unit also. So it rises from there and flow northwards. Then it makes a gorge. Then there is a place in Kota in Rajasthan. Then it enters into Rajasthan, where Gandhi Sagar Dam has been constructed on this river. So if the question comes where this Gandhi Sagar Dam has been constructed, so your answer will be Chambal, right? So your answer will be Chambal. Then it in Kota, then it turns back. Then we have important places of Rajasthan again. Chambal maximum area is in Rajasthan. One is Bundi, then we have Savai Madhopur, then we have Dholpur. This is the name of tributaries basically. It joins Yamuna. Okay. Chambal is mainly a river which is known for its badland topography. Mainly because the area of Chambal is known for badland. There are so many ravines, मिट्टी के गड्ढे से बने हुए हैं, और we come across with so many dacoits also in this area. So that is also known as Chambal ravines. मिट्टी के गड्ढे से बने हुए हैं. That's it. Okay. Then we have a river called Gandak. Mainly it comprises of two streams. One is Kali Gandak and one is the Shul Ganga. Right, it rises in an area called Nepal Himalayas, because Himalayas mainly originated in Nepal, not in India, right? Between Dholagiri and Mount Everest, this river is very important and drains the central part of Nepal. So Gandak is very important river for Nepal. Then it enters to a place called Ganga Plain, and in Champaran district of Bihar. Champaran you already know. Class 10th you must have gone through this Champaran word, where Gandhiji started his movement. That's called Champaran movement, right? Non-cooperation में नाम आता है Champaran district का बिहार में. And then it joined at Ganga at Sonpur near Patna. So this is all of Gandak. Now we'll back to Ghagra. Ghagra originate in a glacier of Mapchungo. This is, and after collecting so much water from so many tributaries, one is Tela, which gives water to Ghagra, Tela, Seti and Beri, and this is also comes out from the mountain and making a gorge at called Shisha Pani. तो ये पानी देती हैं इसको घाघरा को. Then we have river Sarda. It's also known as Kali River or Kali Ganga, and it joins in the plain before it finally meets Ganga at Chapra. Right? Chapra बिहार में एक जगह है, वहाँ पर ये मिलती है जाकर. Again, Kosi is an antecedent river, and its source is north of Mount Everest. तो कोसी का जो सोर्स है वो माउंट एवरेस्ट पे है, तिब्बत में, और इसकी जो मेन स्ट्रीम है वो है अरुण. So after originating it crossed central Himalayas in Nepal, and joined by rivers Son Koshi from the west and Tumar Koshi from the east. And after crossing सेंट्रल हिमालयाज, उसके बाद ये जॉइन सोन कोशी वेस्ट में करती है और तुमार कोशी फ्रॉम ईस्ट. देन इट फॉर्म सप्त कोशी, राइट, एंड देन यूनाइट, इसको मिलती है रिवर अरुण के साथ. रामगंगा बेसिकली इज ए स्मॉल रिवर, बहुत बड़ी रिवर नहीं है रामगंगा, एक छोटी सी रिवर है, कंपैरेटिवली स्मॉल रिवर, राइजिंग फ्रॉम गढ़वाल रीजन फ्रॉम उत्तरांचल, राइट, and it changes its course basically in southwest direction, and then it crosses Shivalik and entered the plains of Uttar Pradesh called Najibabad place in UP, right, and finally it joined Ganga at a place called Kannauj. Again it's a very important place in UP. Kannauj में जाके नदी मिल जाती है गंगा के साथ. Now we'll take on very important river of which I told you about, that is Damodar. Damodar occupies mainly eastern margins, and it is from Chota Nagpur Plateau and flows through a rift valley. दो mountains के बीच में नदी का होना, that's called rift valley basically. And finally it joined, Damodar joins a very important river of Ganga, that's Hooghly, and the main tributary of Damodar is Barakar. Once I told you, already I told you when I was telling you about Kosi, then I was telling you about Damodar also. Damodar was also known as Sorrow of Bengal, and but now we have utilized this river so much You have a very big corporation which has been set up on Damodar, that is called Damodar Valley Corporation. You must be knowing that Damodar region is very important region for iron and steel industry for India. Whenever you go for higher classes, then I'm going to teach you that why Damodar is very important even nowadays. Then Sarda or Surya River basically. This is on Sharda, one is Saryu River that rises in Milan Glacier in Nepal. Okay, so this is also known as Guri Ganga. So I told you Kali Ganga, then it's Guri Ganga. Though this river mainly you find at Indo-Nepal border, where it is called Kali or Chok, and it join Ghagra there, right? Then we have Mahananda. Again, it's a very important tributary of Ganga, rising from Darjeeling. Darjeeling, you already know, it's for important for tea. Darjeeling tea is considered the best tea of the world, right? We used to export maximum tea from Darjeeling, and it joined Ganga from its left bank from West Bengal. Then we have Son. Son is mainly the largest south bank tributary of Ganga. Originate again from Amarkantak Plateau. Amarkantak Plateau, you already know when I was talking about Narmada and Tapi, that time I told you about Amarkantak Plateau. We come across a series of waterfall in this area. Right? So many waterfalls originate from this plateau. Then it reaches to a place Ara. And at this Ara is west of Patna and join Ganga. So this is all about I told you about Ganga. This is a very elaborate and very largest type of basis. So a lot of explanation is required in it. Right now we'll take on a very important river from east part of India. Uh, that is Brahmaputra system. So Brahmaputra is one of the largest river of the world, no doubt. So because it's a very lengthiest river, and mainly it originates from a glacier called Cheombyongdong. That is from Kailash range, and that is in Mansarovar. And then it moves to east side and covers almost distance of 1200 kilometer. This area is very dry and flat region of Tibet. Tibet is mainly a cold desert. Here it is known as Sangpo. So the name of Brahmaputra is Sangpo also. So don't confuse with this name if anyone calls you that Sangpo. Sangpo means I am talking about Brahmaputra. Sangpo in Tibetan language means purifier. So Brahmaputra is also known purifier. Then Rango Sangpo is also a very important tributary of Brahmaputra, which is again part of Tibet. This river is a very turbulent and very dynamic river. इसको इसलिए turbulent and dynamic बोला है क्योंकि it's move with so much force or so much vigor, so much aggressive this river is, and it changes parts very much. Therefore, I use the word braided islands. Braided word I used for that, right? And braided word used किया था, if you remember that, right? Then it cuts a deep gorge in central Himalaya and at a place called Namcha Barwa. Right, it enters now from Tibet to India from this. Then we have a river emerge from the foothills under the name of Siang and Diang. So don't confuse with this name Siang and Diang. And because these are Brahmaputra only. Then it enters to India. There is a town that is called Sidia town. That is in Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal Pradesh is part of India, as you already know, right? And then it receives so many tributaries from the left side. one is Dibang, one is Sikyang, one is Lohit. So many songs have been framed on this Lohit, Diang, Sikang, and also it's known as Brahmaputra. Okay. So Brahmaputra has so many tributaries around us, and mainly it moves around 750 kilometer in Assam itself. So major left bank tributaries are Bhuri Dhyang, Dhansari, Kalang. These are the important tributaries. Okay. Then we have Subansiri, then we have Kamang, Manas, and Kush. These are the names of tributaries which meets at left bank of Brahmaputra. Then we have Subansiri, which has its originate again in Tibet. Again, it is an antecedent river. Brahmaputra enters into Bangladesh. Now, near there is a place called Dhubri and flows southward. In Bangladesh, there is a very important river called Tista. So we have an agreement between India and Bangladesh, the Tista agreement. That meets this Brahmaputra at a right bank. And this river, again known as, when Tista meets Brahmaputra, we call this river as River Yamuna. So our Indian Yamuna and Brahmaputra, this don't confuse with this name, right? And finally, it merges with the river called Padma, and it falls in Bay of Bengal. Maximum river which I told you, whether it's Indus, whether I'm talking about Ganga, then I told you about Brahmaputra, they falls into Bay of Bengal. Indus is exception out of it, right? Brahmaputra, I told you, it's a very ferocious river, and it's basically known for floods. Every year we come across so many floods caused by this river Brahmaputra, because it shifts its channel very fast. And bank erosion is a very common thing. River bank is there. The river used to erode it. When it erodes, there is no obstacle for a river, and it can move easily into city. So that's it. Then we have so that's the reason why is it so? Because maximum tributaries of Brahmaputra is very large and bring large sediments. And in this area, especially where it moves, Brahmaputra moves, this is the area of high rainfall and in its catchment area, and that's the reason water is throughout there in this river. So these are some rivers of North Indian rivers I'm talking about. Now we'll take on some peninsular drainage system. Peninsular drainage system is very old as compared to Himalayan rivers. How we can say like that? There must be some evidence for that. First of all, their valleys are broad and highly eroded. Therefore, the word has been used graded, and it is in mature stage of the rivers. Basically, it is a mature stage of the rivers. So we can call the peninsular drainage system is older drainage system as compared to Himalayan system. The Western Ghats are very close to it. Here, Western Ghats, South Indian rivers are here. It is very close to it, right? The Western Ghats, basically, even Western coast, act as a water divide. ये तो इसके बीच में एक water divide है between the major peninsular rivers, and they discharge their water into Bay of Bengal, and small rivers also join, and they falls in, you can see most of the peninsular rivers except Narmada and Tapti, their direction is from west to east. That you have to keep in mind. The examiner can ask you, name the rivers which flow from west to east. So your answer will be pretty right. It's a Narmada and Tapi. Then we have Chambal, Sindh. Then we have Betwa. Then we have Kane. Then we have Son. Originate in northern part of peninsula. So basically they are North Indian rivers, but their origin from peninsula, right? And they belong to Ganga river system. So we have other major peninsular rivers. One is at very important, Mahanadi, then we have Godavari, then we have Krishna, then we have Kaveri, right? Mainly peninsular rivers are characterized by fixed course. They never change their course, and therefore we never come across flooding, especially in South India. We don't come across with the meanders. I told you, river never moves in a straight line, it moves in a zigzag path. That's called meanders. So you don't find the meanders in it. And mainly their characteristic is they are non-perennial. Non-perennial, right? Narmada and Tapi, which flows through Rift Valley. Rift Valley also, I told you, one river originates from in two mountains. A valley between two mountains is called Rift Valley, basically, right? So now, as I told you about evolution of northern rivers, now we'll take on how peninsular drainage system has been evaluated. So we have so many geological events in distant past. A lot of things has happened, and that shaped the present drainage system of peninsular India. First of all, this is subsidence of western flank of peninsula, which is their western part of this rivers. Basically, it's submerged below the sea during the early tertiary period, and then what happened? It mainly disturbed the symmetry of that plane. अगर एक प्लेन है, अगर उस समझ नीचे होता जाएगा तो एक सिमेट्री जो प्लेन की होगी that will be disturbed, and on either side of watershed, or then what will happen? There was rising of Himalayas or northern part of peninsula, and Himalayas rise होता चला गया, साउथ डीप में आता चला गया. And what has actually happened? This is plates basically. Class 9 you must have studied about tectonic plates, no? So faulting occurs in between this both, this and this, okay? And Narmada and Tapti flows in this through faults. Narmada and Tapti flows in this, that Narmada and Tapti are the main rivers which divide north and south into two parts, and with so much material is there also in it. Here you don't find one characteristic. You can find that these peninsular rivers are lack of alluvial. In North Indian rivers you find that a lot of alluvial soil is there, but here you don't find any alluvial and delta deposits, especially in these rivers, right? And sill tilting is there, slight tilting of peninsular block. Basically, all Earth is made up of so many um, zones, okay, plates, and then peninsular plate basically tilt little bit, shift from that, and whole drainage system, one part become higher and one part become lower. So what will happen if the river is flowing from this direction? Definitely it reaches to a low part, and that's the reason why maximum river drain itself into Bay of Bengal, not Arabian Sea, right? So that's the answer for that. So we have we'll take on one by one this large number of peninsular India rivers. Then we'll take on Mahanadi. First of all, we'll take on Mahanadi. Mahanadi rises in a very important place called Shiva, that is in Raipur district of Chhattisgarh. छत्तीसगढ़ में से ये रिवर राइज होती है, and then it runs through Odisha. Mainly if by chance or asking layman from where you find origin of Mahanadi, so you will find maximum will answer Odisha only. Then it discharges its water into Bay of Bengal. This is not a very long river. The size of this area is 851 kilometer, and catchment area is around 1.4 lakh square kilometer. Mainly in this Mahanadi, we not developed our water transportation so much, but some navigation is carried out in the lower course of this river. Navigation is not so important in India. Water navigation is very uncommon, especially. But here in this part, we find some navigation is carried, but in the lower course of the river. Then 53% of drainage basin of this river lies in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, because it originates from a place called Raipur, Chhattisgarh, and 47% of the share is in Odisha. So that's a part of a Mahanadi. Okay. Now we'll take on Godavari. Godavari is the largest peninsular river system of India, and it's also known as Dakshin Ganga. We regard Ganga so much in northern India, same way they regard Godavari, same way in South India also. It rises from a very important district of Nasik. नासिक वर्ड आते ही आपके दिमाग में क्या क्वेश्चन आता है? नासिक इज फेमस फॉर व्हाट? इज फेमस फॉर oranges. Nasik, Nagpur. And then later on it discharges water in Bay of Bengal. Mainly its tributaries run through states of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh. Okay. So this river is little bit longer, 1456 kilometer long. Catchment area is around 3.13 lakh square kilometer. So 49% of this river lies in Maharashtra, 20% in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, and rest in Andhra Pradesh. Then we have a very important river, that is Penganga. Okay. And then Indravati, then Praheta, and then Manjra. These are principal tributaries of Godavari. Godavari causes so many floods in its lower reach to the south of Polavaram, and it forms a very famous gorge there in this Polavaram. And this river is also navigable river. It's used for navigation purposes. And in the delta, because here river deposits is delta also. And then we have a river basically of Raja Mundri splits into several branches and forms a large delta. Now this is about Godavari. Now we'll back to Krishna. Krishna is second largest east flowing peninsular river system, and where it rises at a place called Mahabaleshwar in Sahyadri. Sahyadri is name of a mountains, right? Total length of this is 1401 kilometer. We have mainly two important tributaries. One is Koyna and one is Tungabhadra. These are the main tributaries of river Krishna. Total catchment area, if you see, of the Krishna, in which state, how much share it has. 27% lies in Maharashtra, 47% in Karnataka, and 29% in Andhra Pradesh. Okay. Then we have Kaveri. Kaveri rises in Brahmagiri Hills, that is Kogdu district in Karnataka. Can you name capital of Karnataka? It's Bangalore, right? Then length of this river is around 800 kilometer, and it drains an area of 81,155 square kilometer. Mainly in upper catchment area, it's received little bit rainfall. During southwest monsoon, we already know that maximum rain causes in India due to साउथ मानसून पता है आप लोगों को पता होगा शायद ये कि मैक्सिमम जो रेन इंडिया में होती है वो ड्यू टू साउथ वेस्ट मानसून के कारण होती है. एंड द लोअर पार्ट बेसिकली राइट दैट इज ड्यूरिंग नॉर्थ ईस्ट मानसून. नॉर्थ ईस्ट मानसून कॉजेज रेन इन विंटर्स बेसिकली इन तमिलनाडु. थोड़ी बहुत बरसात होती है तमिलनाडु में विंटर रेनफॉल के कारण. तो whenever I take on this chapter climate, then I will explain you that what is the difference between northeast monsoon and southwest monsoon. So river has a water throughout the year because of due to rain, right? And as compared to other rivers or peninsular rivers, so this is basically perennial river, right? So mainly 3% of the area that is covered in Kaveri basins fall in Kerala. So the maximum share of Kaveri is in Kerala, right? And then 41% in Karnataka, 56% in Tamil Nadu. Kaveri has always water dispute between these states, because everyone wanted to have more share of water. So the Kaveri dispute is there, right? So we have so many important tributaries. One is Kabni, one is Bhavni, then is one is Amravati, right? Then we have Watershed River, that is Narmada. Narmada is, I told you, it's a very important river which divides North India and South India. It originated from very important plateau, that is Amarkantak Plateau, that is at a height of 1057 meter, and this river flows in a rift valley between Satpura in the south and Vindhya regions in the north. ये दोनों mountains पास में Vindhya, Satpura, that all are in MP, right? And it forms a very beautiful gorge, and that is in marble rock. If you visit this place, you will find a mist type of things are there, because uh, this is a waterfall basically, and that area is covered by marble. So water falls on it, and it gives a very good glimpse basically. And that is near Jabalpur. So if by chance you get a chance to visit Jabalpur, please visit it, right? Then we have after covering a distance about 1312 kilometer, it meets Arabian Sea, and then it falls in that. There is a place called Bharuch, that is in Gujarat, and there we find a big estuary. The catchment area of this river is 98796 square kilometer. We have a largest project of India, of the world even we can say, and that is Sardar Sarovar Dam project, which has been constructed on this river Narmada. So this is very important project. Sardar Sarovar project has been constructed on this river. So by side you just learn dams also, right? Bhakra Nangal I told you, then I told you Hirakud, then now I'm talking about Sardar Sarovar project. So next river in a line is Tapi, that is westward flowing river basically, and originate at a place called Multai, that is near Batul, that is in Madhya Pradesh. Batul is a place in Madhya Pradesh, district of Madhya Pradesh. The length of this river is 7 to 4 kilometer long and drains an area of around 65,145 square kilometer, right? And 79% of this area basically lies in Maharashtra, and 15% in Madhya Pradesh, and remaining 6% basically in Gujarat. We come across with some rivers in Rajasthan. राजस्थान का नाम आते ही आप लोगों को लगता है कि कोई रिवर नहीं होगी, but it is there. We have Luni. Luni means namak, right? Salt. This is the largest river of Aravallis. Aravalli is parallel to Rajasthan. And then we have it originate at a place called Pushkar. There is only one temple of Vishnu, that is in Pushkar. So we have mainly two important branches. One is Saraswati and one is Sabarmati. Sabarmati you must be come across very easily. Dandi May is the name of Gandhi connected to Sabarmati. And then they join at each other at a place called Govindgad. Right. Then river comes out of Aravali, and it is known as Luni. Okay. Then it flows towards the west till Thalwara. Then it takes southwest direction to the run of Kutch. So mainly entire system is ephemeral. Now we'll take some smaller rivers flowing towards west. अब हम कुछ छोटी छोटी रिवर्स की बात करेंगे जो वेस्ट में बहती हैं. रिवर फ्लोइंग टूवर्ड्स अरेबियन सी हैव शॉर्ट कोर्सेज. बेसिकली दे डोंट हैव लॉन्ग कोर्सेज, वेरी शॉर्ट रिवर्स. Why do they have short courses? Name some smaller rivers of Gujarat. So we have one river that is called Shatrunji, right? Which rises at Dalgawa in Amreli district of Gujarat. Then we have Bhadra, right? Then near there is a place called Anali village in Rajkot district, that is in Gujarat. Okay, then we have a small river called Dhadar that rises near Gantar village in Panchmahal district. Then Sabarmati are Mahi. Basically, these are very important rivers of Gujarat, right? So we come across with west flowing rivers of Maharashtra now. We'll take on some rivers of Maharashtra. Vetanarasis from Timbrak Hills in Nasik district. This is a river at a height of 670 meter somewhere. Then we have Kalanadi River rises from Belgaum district, that is a controversial district between Maharashtra and Karnataka. Falls in a Karwar Bay. This is a place called Karwar near Belgaum. And the main source of Beti River lies in Hubli, Dharwad, again near Belgaum. Then the course of this river is 161 kilometers somewhere. Then we have, so Periyar is the second largest river of Kerala, and the total catchment area, if you take of this river, is 5243 square kilometer. Then we can find the catchment area of Bharat Fuza and Periyar rivers. Both are in Kerala. So if you see the difference, another river of Kerala is Pamba River, right? Again, very important, which falls in the lake called Vembanad Lake, and it's a course of 177 kilometers somewhere. Then we have small rivers, that is from east. We'll take on. There are large number of rivers basically flowing towards east. Maximum rivers moves to east side with the tributaries. So we have so many rivers which we can tell about. Now we'll take on some river. So we have quantity of water flowing mainly. Quantity of water which is flowing in a river channel is not same throughout the year. It varies from season to season. It varies from season to season. Sometimes you find more water, sometimes less water. When it can be more water, reason is very clear. When southwest monsoon is in active position, active mode, then only you find more water in that side. And the pattern of flow of water in river channel is called regime. That you have to keep in mind, right? So again, I'm defining it. The pattern of flow of water in a river channel over a year, that's called regime, right? So North Indian rivers basically originated from Himalayas. We already know they are perennial in nature and they are fed by glacier, therefore they are perennial throughout. They have snow melts in summer, and later on, due to southwest monsoon, they get so much water, and especially few rivers are dry in some part, otherwise maximum time the water is there. And the river of South India do not originate from glacier, and therefore they witness almost fluctuations. They have to totally depend on rain, right? The flow increases when water flow is increases due to monsoon rains. Due to monsoon rains, it basically it happens, right? So regime of the river of South India is basically controlled by rainfall. पानी तभी रहेगा जब rainfall होगी, and it varies from one part to another because monsoon doesn't occur evenly throughout India. It's very uneven distribution of rivers there. And then we have discharge of the volume of water is also measured in time. We can measure water body through cubic, that is called cubic feet per second, or it can be called cubic meter per second. Okay, from there only we can assess. When you find Ganga has less water, minimum flow during January to June period. This is driest month of India basically. We don't find any rainfall in this. After June only North India receives rainfall, especially from southwest monsoon. And then we have Maximum flow of water in Ganga is mainly in maximum flow of water we find in August to September. Reason is very clear. The monsoon is in active state that time. After September, there is a very steady fall in this flow, right? Now, because monsoon region is very active, especially in rainy season. So we have some striking difference also find in this regions. Mm, in river regions in eastern and western part of the Ganga basin. So Ganga maintains a continuous flow in early part of summer. Why? Due to melting of glacier, due to snow melts, right? And rain begins. So Ganga has throughout water. Throughout you don't find water scarcity in Ganga due to this reason only. The maximum discharge of this water you find of Ganga at a place called Farakka. That is around 54,000 cusack. This is mean and only 1300 cusack. Okay. Then we have what are the factors responsible for more discharge of water and less discharge of water? We have mainly two Penjon River, but that is displaying a very good difference in this region compared to Himalayan River. Narmada has a very low volume of discharge from January to July, but suddenly in August, when water is attained, it has more. And fall in October because again monsoon shortage in October, then again rise in August. Okay, so this is some exception things which you come across, right? And then flow of water in Narmada is recorded at a place called Gurdishevar, shows maximum flow, that is around 2300 cusic, and minimum flow is 15 cusic. So Godavari has minimum discharge in May and maximum in July and August. Then after August, there is a sharp fall in water in volume of flow, especially in October and November, is higher than of months of January to May. Then we have maximum discharge, and then we'll take on extent and usability of river water. Right, we'll take on extent and usability of river water. Mainly, if you see, rivers of India has a huge volume of water per year, but it is very unevenly distributed. Sometimes you find more water in river, and sometimes you find less water in. That's because of time and space. We have so many parallel rivers in India carrying water throughout the year, while we have some rivers which are non-parallel in nature, have very less water during dry season, right? And I already explained you why is it. So the reason is very clear: North Indian rivers and South Indian, because in rainy season, mm, much of the water is wasted because we don't have any mechanism to control or conserve water, especially in floods, and it flows down the sea. When there is a flood, basically in one part of the country, other area is suffering from drought. So therefore, we are trying now. There is a big project which is coming of interlinking of river. Therefore, we're trying to solve this problem because if one area is affected by flood and other area is having drought, so both can be controlled, both can be balanced, right? So reason is very clear because we don't have any mechanism like that now. Therefore, it is happening, and this problem can be sorted out very easily once the political will start to think about it. Then we can solve this problem. Then there is a problem of availability of water sources and what type of management we have. We have some measures to mitigate the problems of flood, हमारे पास कुछ मेजर्स होने चाहिए ताकि हम प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व कर पाए, फ्लड्स को और ड्रॉट्स को एक साथ in different parts of the country, right? Then we have so how can these problems can be sorted out, that we can ask question ourselves. Now we have some schemes of inter-basin linkage which I am talking about earlier. So we have so many projects which are there in India, which is really solving us a lot of things for that. One is Indira Gandhi Canal project, it's the largest one. Then we have Kannur Kudappa Canal. We have large canal network in India. Then we have Byas Satluj Link Canal. Then we have Ganga Kaveri Link Canal. You have must have heard linking of river. हमारा देश में कभी ऐसा टाइम आएगा जब हम रिवर्स को लिंक कर पाएंगे. Then we have what we are doing, digging a canal. कैनाल बना दी और एक जगह से दूसरी जगह पानी को ट्रांसफ़र करना. दिस इज वेरी कॉमन थिंग विच वी आर डूइंग, स्पेशली वी आर डूइंग इन गंगा. कैन वी डू इन पेंचुलर रिवर्स आल्सो? तो ये द मेजर प्रॉब्लम इज राइट, दैट विल सी टू इट. So this is the main thing which already I told you. And the last part which is there, uh, what is the problem? Basically we are not able to use water availability of India because we have maximum rivers are polluted nowadays. Then a lot of rivers are carrying a lot of silt deposition sediments. Then we don't have seasonal type of problem, uneven seasonal flow of water. Sometimes we find water is more in river, sometimes we find less water. Then there is a lot of disputes in state to state, river water disputes, Krishna water dispute is going on, Kaveri water dispute is going on. Then size of the river is also shrinking. Why? Because we are extending our settlements. That's the reason why is it so, right? And now the question comes, why our rivers are polluted, right? We can see the reasons are a lot of things why our rivers are polluted, right? Industrial effluents are we are mixing in our river bodies. Most of the cremation grounds basically it's on the banks of river, and that bodies sometimes thrown in the rivers as well. So therefore we are making polluted our rivers, right? Some festivals also, um, some festivals also pollute rivers when we throw flowers, statues, and that is immersed in water. Then we have large scale bathing, washing of clothes, that also pollute the rivers. So something should be done that we can solve the problem of solving this. How can the rivers be made pollution free, right? So we have so many schemes which are going on. Namami Ganga, which I told you about already. Then we have Ganga Action Plan. Then we are trying to clean Yamuna at Delhi also. So this is the full chapter. I explained you. Next video will be downloading very fast. Thank you.